So we're following the breaking news at the top of your screen as you see. Mike Mularkey and the Tennessee Titans have mutually agreed to part ways. So the Tennessee Titans are looking for a new head coach. The Detroit Lions, well, they might have their guy now, and it looks like, according to all the evidence out there, Matt Patricia is headed to the Motor City. This is our NFL rumor number one. Adam Schefter reported that Matt Patricia is likely to be the next head coach of the Lions. Patricia has been the favorite of GM Bob Quinn all along. We know how Bob Quinn has those ties to New England. And the Lions had been seeking a defensive mind to really help bolster that side of the ball. That's kind of where they struggled, especially in the front seven this year, with the ability to get after the passer and stop the run. We know they have a good secondary, but Matt Patricia coming in, a fantastic mind in terms of defense, really a bright guy in general, really smart guy, can really change the culture for the Detroit Lions and make things really interesting on that defensive side. So it had been reported that Patricia preferred the Giants, but New York may be hiring Vikings offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur. So in that vein, Matt Patricia likely to go to Detroit. So since becoming defensive coordinator in 2012, the Patriots have allowed 19.2 points per game. That's second in the NFL to Seattle over that same time frame. So Matt Patricia, in terms of points allowed, scoring defense, probably the most important stat on that side of the ball, has gotten it done. And some other guys that the Lions have interviewed, Mike Vrabel was highly regarded by them, Green Bay associate head coach Winston Moss, Pat Shurmur also, former defensive coordinator Terrell Austin now at the Bengals, Lions offensive coordinator Jim Bob Cooter, but Jim is, of course, staying as the offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions. So Matt Patricia likely to the Detroit Lions. Of course, nothing official now because there can't be. By NFL rules, Matt Patricia can't sign with the Lions until the Patriots season is over, and it's very possible that old Matt is going to have to wait until February to actually do that. So that's rumor number one. How about staying in New England, going to another coordinator, Josh McDaniels, likely headed to Indianapolis. The Colts have narrowed its search to two candidates, McDaniels and Mike Vrabel. And Colts leadership will proceed today, like right now, with either second interviews or simply making a choice. So we could be hearing this morning or later today that there has been a decision made. And Ian Rappaport has recently tweeted just this morning, I believe Harris Rubenstein, my producer, found this one. The belief was that Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels would prefer the Titans over all coaching jobs. The health of Andrew Luck was an issue, as was the high ceiling of Marcus Mariota. So this makes things a lot more interesting now, right? Because we have the breaking news with Mike Mularkey mutually parting ways with Tennessee. Fantastic pickup by my producer there, Harris. So now you wonder, is Josh McDaniels going to kind of slight and flake out away from the Indianapolis Colts and go to Nashville in preference of Marcus Mariota over Andrew Luck? We all know how many interviews Josh McDaniels has had. A lot. But now, with this latest development, it looks like McDaniels could all of a sudden reverse course, according to this tweet here from Rappaport, and this came minutes ago, just filed to us, that McDaniels could choose the Titans over the Colts. And it lends me to believe that the Titans feel very confident that McDaniels is going to Nashville. Why is that? Well, why would they mutually part ways with Mike Mularkey after it was reported last night that they offered him an extension? So somewhere in between Rappaport's tweet last night and then Field Yates' tweet this morning, Josh McDaniels sent a text message to Tennessee's leadership. Look, I'm interested. Let's talk. The Titans said, okay, hey, Mike, you cool if we bail? Mike's like, all right, I guess. I did just stink up the joint as a coach against the Patriots in the divisional round. See you later. And the Titans leadership is like, okay, great. See you, Mike. hey, Josh, we got a spot for you. Rappaport tweets minutes ago. The belief was that the Patriots offensive coordinator, Josh McDaniels, would prefer the Titans. It's all making sense now. So both coordinators for the Patriots, offensive and defensive, look to have new homes. Matt Patricia to Detroit, and very possibly Josh McDaniels to the Tennessee Titans. We're following these rumors here on the Cam Rogers Show on Chat Sports Facebook Live. Let's move along here. Le'Veon Bell. So, is a franchise tag coming for the star running back of Pittsburgh? That is the big question mark there. Ian Rappaport is reporting that Bell is likely to play on the tag in 2018, something Bell obviously does not want because he recently said that he would retire or possibly sit out the entire season if he were to get tagged and subsequently earn $14.5 million. Apparently, that's not enough for him. So for Le'Veon here, I think it's just a game of chicken with him and Pittsburgh's leadership. Now, the season's over for Pittsburgh. We all know the Steelers don't negotiate contracts during the regular season and the playoffs and all that jazz. The Steelers are now into the offseason, so these talks could ratchet up a little bit. But Le'Veon Bell, talking smack on Twitter, looking forward to playing the Patriots, not going down. Instead, he's talking about a long-term deal perhaps with the Pittsburgh Steelers or a franchise tag. But do you really think Le'Veon Bell is going to be mad about $14.5 million in 2018? I mean, come on, Bell. You're not retiring, and you're not sitting out the entire 2018 season. Now, even if the Steelers do tag Le'Veon Bell within the window that they have to, there's time for them to work out a long-term deal by the July deadline. So you can kind of tag Bell to kick the can a little bit into July and work out a long-term contract. So that's the story with Le'Veon. How about this? We're staying in Pittsburgh. Todd Haley, offensive coordinator there for the Steelers. Very interesting report coming from NFL.com. It looks like the relationship between Haley and Ben Roethlisberger has been as bad as it's been in years. And we all remember the storylines with that when these two had a riff right when Haley became the offensive coordinator for the Steelers. And being a free agent now, Haley could be going with head coaching candidate and offensive line coach Mike Munchak if he gets the Cardinals job. That's very possible. And you actually look at the numbers here for Ben Roethlisberger before Todd Haley and then after, or actually with Todd Haley and with other coordinators, they heavily favor the Haley era. 65.2 completion percentage with Haley, 63 without. Passer rating of 96 with Haley, passer rating of 92 without. Now, these are marginal, sure, but still, they're better. And you look at the touchdown to interception ratio, Ben Roethlisberger, more interceptions under other coordinators for Pittsburgh rather than during Haley's time. And, of course, the sample size is different and all that. I get that. So the numbers don't heavily favor Ben Roethlisberger while playing in Todd Haley's system, but they are better in a general sense. But this is an interesting story because we've heard about it before, so I'm putting a lot of credibility to this. And for Todd Haley now being a free agent, it looks like he's probably going to move along. He could be a very kind of a dark horse head coach candidate too. I mean, he's been reported as a head coach candidate in years past. Remember with the Miami Dolphins a couple of years ago and all this. So who knows what can happen in Pittsburgh. We do know that Ben Roethlisberger will be coming back in 2018. He is not retiring. So that's the latest rumor with Todd Haley and Ben Roethlisberger. All right, how about the Denver Broncos here? Looks like they are pulling out all the stops here for the future of the quarterback position at Mile High. Now, according to the Denver Post, quote, every option is being considered by the Broncos. That's drafting a quarterback, signing a free agent, trading for a veteran. And the Post mentioned Eli Manning and Alex Smith as potential trade targets. How about that? Elway going out and grabbing Peyton Manning and then also getting Eli Manning. Big-time storyline there. Kirk Cousins, another name to watch out for. I actually think that's the more likely choice for the Broncos. I think they actually do trade and get Kirk Cousins and probably don't draft a quarterback in the first round, although Baker Mayfield and Josh Allen and Rosen are all candidates for the upcoming draft for the Broncos, especially if they trade up, but they're in a good spot there in the top 10. Regardless, it is no surprise at all. John Elway is leaving all options on the table for the Denver Broncos and the future of the quarterback position.